we'll be painting a winter penguin. Let's take a look at the materials that we will need. We will need a piece of paper. This one has a light blue color so that we don't need to paint a background. And we will need a piece of chalk to start with our drawing of our design. After that, we will switch over to painting materials, including paper towels, assorted paintbrushes, water for washing our brushes, and assorted paint colors. Let's start by drawing our basic penguin shape. So this penguin is going to be mostly a head and shoulders of a penguin, a portrait, not a full body. And to start our penguin shape, we are going to just draw a very tall rainbow or a curved arch. On the top of that curved arch, we are going to draw another curved line, and then another curved line, because our penguin is going to be wearing a winter hat. So another curved line, and then whatever shape we would like to use as a pom-pom. Around our penguin's neck, there will be a scarf. So another curved line going in the other direction, almost like a smiley face, and then going off the sides. And where the scarf is tucked in, we can make a overlapping shape. The penguin's beak is a upside down triangle with slightly curved edges and two round circles for eyes. And that is how we draw the penguin. The reason to use chalk is that it's very easy to smudge the chalk away, and the paint covers it up very easily compared to using a marker or even a lead pencil. Now let's move on to the painting part. When painting, I always like to work light to dark. So for this, we're going to start with the white paint, and that's going to be for most of the penguin's face, with a bit of a larger brush. And it's almost like a heart shape around the penguin's face. It may take more than one layer of paint to cover the blue paper in a way that we want it to look. So once you've done one layer of white paint, you can let that dry while you're painting another color, and then go back. Now, given that this is going to be a winter picture, cool colors are more likely to be found in it. So for cool colors, we have purple, we have magenta, and we have green. If we want to make them even more frosty, then once we've painted them, we can actually go back with some white on top. So what I'm going to do right now is clean the white that's on my brush on a paper towel, and then wash it in my water cup and wipe it again until I feel like I got all of the paint off. Now I'm going to decide on what colors I want for my penguin's outfit. So I'm going to give my penguin, I think, a green and purple outfit. So I'm going to take away the magenta for this particular project and stick with green and purple. And my scarf is going to actually be striped. So I'm going to start with green, but leave a space. It's about the space as wide as one finger. The part that's folded over, the stripes would go in the other direction. Now, if I want to make this a little bit of more of a frosty green, or even just add some texture to the hat and the scarf, I can switch to another brush, a clean brush, and dip it into some white, and go back in and just roughly smudge into the existing green paint to make it look more fluffy and textured and also lighter in color. There's a lot of paint on my brush. I'm just wiping it on my messy mat that is underneath my painting before dipping it back into the white, because I don't want to get the white contaminated with the green paint if I can help it. Okay, so I feel like I'm done with the green. I'm going to wipe off my brush that had green paint, wash it in the water, then wipe it again. We need to wash it again if it had a lot of paint on it until it comes out clean. And now that my white paint is pretty much dry, I'm going to go back in with a second layer. Now, if I didn't have a already colored paper, like a light blue or a dark blue, I could paint the background as well. So I could do that either first and let it dry and draw the penguin on top, or I could paint the background around the penguin. The nice thing about having already colored paper is that it saves you quite a bit of painting. And you can still use your paint to add little dots in the background to make it look like snowflakes at the end. So we will probably do that when we get to the very end. And I'm going to wipe my brush again. And I'm going to use purple. wiping off the purple paint, cleaning the brush. And back to white. This technique of painting into the paint can also be referred to as scumbling. So they're creating a bit of a texture effect. Okay, clean off this brush. And switch back to my larger brush. This time I'm going to use some black paint and finish painting the penguin. The nice thing about black paint is that it covers very well, including that little purple dot that ended up on part of the penguin's face. While I have the black paint, I can also paint the two circles for the penguin's eyes. And I'm going to switch to a new paper towel since my last one was pretty painty to clean the black paint off this brush and wash it. Dry it. And put the black paint aside. Switch to an orange paint. This is the only warm color paint we're using for this painting. This was a mixed orange from yellow and red, but a pre-made orange works just as well. And this is for painting in our beak. So same as with the white, the orange is a little bit transparent. So what we can do is let that dry a bit and then put on a second layer. While that is drying, what I can do is use the bottoms of my paintbrushes, different size bottoms, and make some dots for snowflakes. So if I want a larger dot, I can use the larger circle bottom of my paintbrush. If I want a really small one, I can use the smallest size paintbrush. And if I want a mid-size, I can use my medium-sized bottom of my paintbrush. I can also use the bottom of the paintbrush to add a little white highlight to my penguin's eyes. And then, of course, wipe off the bottoms of the paintbrushes. And add a second coat of paint to our penguin's beak. That is a simple way to make a winter penguin painting.